Hello and welcome. You're watching Markets Today. I'm Sakshi Batra, and this is where we talk about stock markets. And in today's trading session, the kind of performance you've seen, the sectors, the stocks, all of that in focus, and also Rakesh Jhunjhunwala stocks, especially. Of course, over the weekend, we saw a very grim news coming in. Market guru Rakesh Jhunjhunwala passed away at the age of 62. But today it was all about stock market investors glued into the stocks in his portfolio to see how they really perform, because most of the stock traders and investors have been following Rakesh Jhunjhunwala and his stock picking style, also copying his portfolio to a large extent to see the kind of replicating gains that they may have. So in this video, I'm going to be talking to you specifically about the stocks in Rakesh Jhunjhunwala's portfolio and how have they performed in today's trading session as well. First up, to give you a highlight of the stock market's performance, well, it was the sixth consecutive day of markets gaining strength. The Nifty topping the charts, in fact, 17,825 as the closing level, 127 points of a gain or a 0.7% uptick. The Sensex also inching closer to that 60,000 mark with a rise of 379 points today at 59,842. The midcap index was up by 448 points or 1.5% up. 0.5% gain for the Nifty bank index as well. That was up by 200 points in today's trading session. We did get to see a whole host of sectors performing well, like auto stocks rose amid demand uptake, new launches also coming up. The index was up 2%. Aisha Motors, M&M, Bajaj Auto, all of them hit their 52-week highs. Maruti Suzuki, Escorts, also another stock in Rakesh Jhunjhunwala's portfolio, rose up to almost 9% odd. We did see HDFC AMC surging 11% after a block deal of 6% equity. Adani Ports was among the Nifty gainers following the earnings as well. Stock was up 4%. We also saw Muthoot Finance that was seen down in trade on the opposite direction, 12% after weak earnings coming about. Max Healthcare rose 8% despite a 27% stake sale by KKR. We did see UTI AMC surging 6% as sources were, indicating that Tata Mutual Fund is looking to buy a stake in the company as well. So those were some of the buzzing stocks. But let's now focus on Rakesh Jhunjhunwala's specific stocks. Now, the initial action right at the opening tick, most of his stocks in his portfolio were seen down in trade. Definitely, knee-jerk reaction to this very somber news that we got over the weekend. But apart from this, towards the end of the session, perhaps living up to the spirit of Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, the stocks recovered in trade, especially one of his favorite stocks, Titan, was up by 0.8% to close the day at 24.91. Crisil was seen up by over a percent at 32.92. Tata Motors, another stock that rose up 2.7%, again in Rakesh Jhunjhunwala's portfolio at 490 rupees as the closing price. NCC, another stock that rose 2.5% today to close the day at 66. Rallis India, another favorite of Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, the stock was up by 0.7% to close the day at 226. Star Health, which is one of his very early investments, the stock inched up higher by 0.5% and closed the day at nearly 700 rupees per share. On the downside, there were still some stocks that did not recover from those opening lows. They were continuing to drag down in trade, including Jubilant Pharmova, that was down by 1.5%. The stock shut shop at 345. Agrotech, the stock was down by 0.7%. It shut shop the day at 775. Aptech, the stock was down 5% in the initial trade, but it recovered from those opening lows. It ended 0.2% lower, almost flat with a negative bias. 232 was the closing price of Aptech. Metro Brands, that stock was also seen, closing the day at 846, down by 0.9% in trade. So those were the key stocks in Rakesh Jhunjhunwala's portfolio that were in focus in today's trading session. But one more stock that you need to keep an eye out on: Singer India. In case you're a Rakesh Jhunjhunwala fan and you have been looking at adding the stocks to your portfolio, which are already present in the ACE Investors portfolio, as and when he picks up stake, there are a rush of investors, looking to grab that stock, to look at the perfect timing of investing right there. One stock that got locked in upper circuit today was Singer India, perhaps as a tribute to the legend Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, after the news reports in the morning suggested that in a big block deal, Rakesh Jhunjhunwala's firm Rare Enterprises has picked up a 10% stake in Singer India, the company that manufactures sewing machines and a whole host of other appliances. The stock shut shop. The stock was trading at around 56 rupees or so on Friday evening when we saw the closing price. Today, it shot up to 67 odd. So that stock was locked up at 20% upper circuit on the news reports that Rare Enterprises had invested big time in Singer India. Will keep an eye out on the final data of the bulk deals that may confirm to us the validity of this news as well. But definitely keeping with the spirit of Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, we did see stocks recovering from the opening lows and showing that the stock and the fundamentals of the stocks are good enough, and therefore the stocks recovered in trade towards the end of the session as well.